Doctor, this will be the final rounds of the questions, and it's a combination of about 3 questions. So I'll weave them together. The very first one is like, I want to pick it from your own explanation. Someone making his or her mind not to be a polygamist, and this question is, how can one create love in polygamy? How can one find love in polygamy? That is where this person is at the moment. Of course, it's the sister that is asking this. She's finding herself in polygamy, and she's asking, how can I find love in this space that I am? Maybe she just found herself there. The husband is taking the second wife, or probably the third wife, and here she is. She's struggling to find love within it. How best would you advise the sister?
Thank you very much. Many people here are still single, and I don't see how polygamy is beneficial to them. If you want to learn
Doctor, I
about
don't
polygamy,
think the sisters can hear that very well. Maybe you should repeat that statement again.
No, she doesn't have to disclose herself. Okay, let me see if I can say something that can calm her mind down. Allah does that a lot. When you are worried, and Allah will just reveal one verse, and you'll be like, okay, yes, I hear. Now, let me tell you something. It is very recent, as recent as, let's say, 1921, that love started becoming part of the criteria for marriage.
Allah.
It was not there from the beginning. Did Adam and Eve love each other? Answer that question.
Allah.
Was love part of the things that made Allah to put them together?
Allah.
Allah doesn't care. What Allah wants is you love Him. And marriage, it is very recent that people started emphasizing love, infatuation, all of these things that people say, my breath skipped, my heart skipped a breath.
Butterflies in my bed.
When I saw, many of you have read too many novels, and you have watched too many Nollywood or Hollywood.
Indian films. It
is the Western education that made us to think that love comes first. Before now, what women are looking for are men that can take care of them. And what men are looking for are women who can give them children. Once they know that this man can take care of them, the love comes afterwards. You don't start with love. You start with sakina, the way Allah puts it. Can this man give me peace of mind? Can this man give me rest of mind? If this man can give me peace and rest of mind, is he the only man that can give me the peace and rest of mind? No. There are thousands of other men like that, just that you don't know them. There are thousands of other. Why would a woman remarry after the death of her husband? Will she say, because there's no man that can ever be like my husband, I will never marry again? No. The Sunnah says, as soon as you finish your iddah today, you finish your iddah today, tomorrow you do another nikah. So this one of love, I love him. Now in polygamy, Allah emphasizes justice above love. What's the use of someone who loves you and is not just? He doesn't care about your feelings, doesn't care about your emotions, he doesn't care about your well-being. He doesn't care about how you survive and thrive in life. He doesn't care about how you achieve the peak of your ambitions in life. I know a lady who happened to be a nurse, a very serious nurse for that matter. But she married a man who had wives already. And she confessed to me that, Ustaz, that made me to be the senior that I am today, because I had time to devote to what I'm doing. I also have a colleague, she's a professor. If this woman is talking about book for you, you think she is a clone of Aisha Radhiallahu anha.
Allah Akbar.
She had that time devoted. She can read thesis of PhD students, 20 PhD students. She can read it within 1 week, and she will give them note on what book they should read, what they should. These are the kind of people that the Ummah is building. Not somebody who thinks love is everything. So, my dear sister, you've already found love. If you have found Allah, your agreeing to be in a polygamous marriage is a show of your love for Allah. Every other thing will fall in place. Your husband that is doing polygamy, I believe that there's something about his iman. It may not be perfect. I believe he wants to achieve something between him and Allah for going into polygamy. So don't overemphasize love. Look into, is there sakina? And then Allah will bring love and mercy in his own way. It is not our job, my brother, I repeat, it is not our job to put love or to find love. Allah. Love is so enigmatic, it's so crazy, that sometimes you even love wrong people.
Allah.
Why do you trust love so much? When people can easily deceive you and you love the person. And then when problem happens, you start looking for bread knife to remove each other's navel.
Allah.
Haven't you seen people love each other and they start pouring acid on one another?
Allah.
Because there's problem. Haven't you seen people who say they love each other and they password their phones, they face security their phones, I like this, to open their phones because they don't want the other partner to see it, and they still say they love each other. One man and one madam, my sister, there's one I don't want to mention. There's one madam who told me that she was so impressed when she saw what her son, 17-year-old, wrote a love letter to a lady. She said she was so jealous that I wish your father wrote this kind of thing to me.
Letter to me.
And as a mother, and you know that kind of thing, she just found it on the table, and then she read a card, this Valentine card. Then you wrote some other things inside. You know how you put the ones they wrote in the card aside, and you wrote your own. The mother said she was so impressed that how did you learn all of these things? This girl must be very lucky. When will you bring her home to show me? She said the boy just laughed and opened the drawer and brought 6 other cards that are written similar things to different ladies.
Allah.
And then the mother was so disappointed.
Scammer.
And this girl will be somewhere thinking her head is in the cloud.
Allah.
Not knowing that there were 7 other girls
I got to the same thing.
that are written different ones in the same Look, love is a scam sometimes. Don't over depend on love. When realities happen, just like my sister said, and may Allah bless your intelligence, honorable. You see, all of these things they are saying is only falsehood that are different. You see the similar thing in truth. Not be by falsehood. This one you say you love. After a while, when this love just shifts, people will be asking you what happened, and you don't know what to say. So, my sister, stay married. Ensure you focus on what is more important. Does this man support you? Does he wake you for the tahajjud once in a while? Does he deny you your right? Is he cheating on you? Or is loyal to you? This man, rather than commit zina, decide to marry you as a wife in the house. It may not be perfect, but at least you are on the path to something. The moment you shift your attention to pleasing Allah and seeking the love of Almighty Allah, you will find love in everywhere you look at. Even if his heart is hard, or if he doesn't know how to be just in polygamy, because of your love of Allah, Allah is going to turn him around and things will be. It is only in the love of Allah that you can find hope. That's the only thing that is certain. You see, we humans, we can love. Then sometimes something will just happen and then that love will just turn around. It looks so much like hatred sometimes, how we treat each other eventually. So please, stop looking for love. You have already found it because you found Allah. Not all ladies like you will agree to marry a man that has wives already. Many ladies, they would rather die than marry. They think they marry somebody else's husband. That kind of a thing. So you that has that, you know you want your husband to yourself 100%, and you know it's not possible because he has another wife. It is only men who knows how they feel about their wives. It's only a man that has many loves in his mind. So if a man has one wife, he loves his wife. he has 2 wives, he loves himself.
Mm.
If he has 3 wives, he can love anything.
Allah Akbar. What about 4, sir?
If he has 4 wives,
If
he has 4 wives,
now,
he doesn't even know what love is anymore.
yeah, I'm saying you must have one or 2 things you want to add to that. So guys, that's a good, that's a Twitter code, please. No, that's very important. We must tweet that. That was very important.
Assalamu alaikum. I know often when it comes to polygamy, it's a contentious issue, and I don't know how there is a myth that someone like me, I'm anti-polygamy. I so am not. I grew up seeing beautiful polygamy. But I think one of the words that my brother said was the key. When I saw polygamy work, was the word justice.
No.
I saw how balanced it was. Last year I was here, I broke down because I saw my father go out of his way to be just to his 2 wives.
Yeah.
Allah yarhamuhu, my stepmother, Aisha as well, she passed away before my mom. However, before she passed away, she made it clear, just like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, everyone knew, yes, after Khadija radiallahu anha passed away, that was when polygamy became a sunnah.
No.
Monogamy was a sunnah before then, no.
No.
We can't forget.
Now.
Even the wives of the Prophet knew that he loved Khadija radiallahu anha so much. There's no way one man can love all wives equally. But as humans, it's the same thing. We don't love our children exactly the same way because of our own unique traits. And sometimes you have one child who is more empathetic, kinder, more in touch with our emotions, and they feed our spirit. So there's no way a human being can say he loves. But the emphasis is on justice. There's a misconception that when men go into polygamy, they dilute. They don't. Allah is going to ask you if you filled 100% of your obligations to one wife, times 4.
No.
So it's 400 now, if you go up to 4.
Allah.
If you marry 2 wives, you owe 200%. 100 to this one, 100. Not 50-50.
No.
Not 25-25. That is one big misconception. Another thing that will diminish love in the heart of a woman is if you don't do polygamy right. One of the topics we want to raise during our Muslim Family Summit is polygamy the right way. I accept, I tawakkul that Allah has said it is permissible, but under what conditions? Are you fulfilling your obligations to your wife? Are you capable of fulfilling her obligations and fulfilling hers equally? That justice is key. I remember every time my father would go for Hajj or Umrah, the gift that he brings for my mother and my stepmother is gold earrings. And he shows my mother and says, here is the gold I bought for you and Aisha. It's always Aisha the first, Aisha the second. That's how my father described them or called them. Then he would show my mother. He said, but I will give Aisha the first to pick first. They weigh the same. So he gave my stepmother that respect. But what I loved is we as children grew up seeing that. Like, yes, she was the first, but it doesn't mean she has rights over my mom or that he owes her some maybe gold that is a bit heavier than what he will give my mother. The value was the same, but the respect never stopped. When my friend found out on Facebook that her husband married another wife, she became bitter. She became resentful. She has 5 children with this man. Before you know it, she turned all the children against the father because they saw the mother in pain. They saw her an emotional mess because it wasn't done the right way. I love Ustaz Muhammad Abu Bakr of one Ummah. Now when he was going to marry another wife, he told the first wife, then he told the new one that was coming that he wants to introduce her. This is before the marriage. And made sure he give her the full respect. Don't think you are the flavor of the month or you are the fairest of them all. You are coming to complete something that is incomplete. No. You are here to complement what we have already established. Join the ecosystem and let's forge with something better. Don't come and take away. There's nothing wrong with my wife. I think one of the biggest problems is when a woman is left to feel she's not enough. I think that's where you see the jealousy, which is natural. Even Aisha radiallahu anha showed that she was jealous of how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was still lamenting about Khadija radiallahu anha. This is after she was dead and gone. Imagine there's jealousy. That is natural. But every wife would testify that the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was just, and he made an effort. And you would find some wives, like my mother, my stepmother, Allah yarhamha, Moha, would sacrifice and say, Baba, stay with your Aisha II. Because my mom was ill with dementia. Even though Allah took my stepmother first, she didn't have the ailments, but she said, stay with her. She needs you now, because her memory was going. And she saw her deteriorating fast. So for me, I think why I respect my dad so much was because I saw him as a human being struggle. I saw him fight. He was given my stepmother as a wife. He was told, and in those days, you follow. So it wasn't like, okay, I choose this person. But in spite of that, he still respected her. He respected the children. He never showed that he took sides. And he tried his best as a human being to be just. So for me, I just want to emphasize that we know he loved his wives as humanly possible, but it was clear he loved Aisha II on another level. That was what I wanted to add.
Jazakumullahu khairan. Thank you so much for that insightful explanation. On this note, we'll be wrapping up this session. But before then, I would like to take a final word from our Honorable Commissioner. Of course, I know ADYAN has been in the forefront of some of your activities, and Ansar-ud-Deen youth, people that you really want to support, and we really appreciate you for that. We can see this is happening now, and I know there's going to still be more activities from the Ansar-ud-Deen youths of Lagos State Council. They're working on quite a number of projects, and I'm very sure they will have informed you. More importantly is the medical center they are working on, and I think we need all the support we can get from your ministry, especially from you. Of course, you've been showing it, and we really appreciate it. So the final word, what would you like to say to the members of Ansar-ud-Deen youths before we wrap up this session?
Well, to wrap up, I think I'll leave by saying a few things. Number one, it's easier said than done, right? Number two, you need to believe in yourself. You need to be able to rise up to the occasion. The worst thing anybody can ever say to you is no. And this is in terms of opportunities, in terms of requests and all of that. But you cannot keep things in yourself because nobody can read your mind. So I encourage you to speak up. I encourage you to go for what you believe in. I encourage you to, life is not a bed of roses at the end of the day. You need to work hard. There's no shortcut to the top. There is no shortcut to the top in marriage, in life, in success, and all of that. So you just need to, be faithful, loyal, and honest to yourself to start off with. It's very key, faithful, loyal, and honest to yourself. If you're able to do that to yourself, then you can then transfer it to anything and everybody, whether it's a wife, whether it's a boss, whether it's a friend, and all of that. And may Almighty Allah, continue to make it easy. We know it's tough. We know it's hard. This is not me speaking from a government perspective. This is me speaking from a human perspective. It is tough, right? But we cannot give up. We must just continue to push. We must continue to persevere. And we must continue to be hopeful. But most importantly, take advantage of opportunities that are there in front of you. Network. Your network is your network. You cannot do things in silos, right? You must speak up. You must speak to one another. And then bringing it back to why we're here, you must be able to find the right partner. Because when you find that right partner, it just makes things easier. But again, even after you find that right partner, there are always, it's not always a straight and narrow path. Yeah. It goes through, curves, ups and downs and all of that. But again, just continue to be hopeful, continue to be prayerful. Almighty Allah, who brought us into this world, has brought us in for a reason. It's not going to give you something you cannot
Handle.
you cannot what?
Handle.
Or you cannot deal with, right? But again, your ummah is very, very important. And so may Almighty Allah help us. May Almighty Allah continue to guide us. May He continue to protect us. May He continue to give us the wisdom and the ability to make the right decisions and forge ahead. One thing that is, you know, constant, and one thing that is going to happen to all of us at the end of the day, whether you're married, you're not married, one thing that will happen to all of us is we're going to die. Right? And fortunately or unfortunately for us as Muslims, we have less than 24 hours for them to bury us. Right? So when you have this at the back of your mind every single day, then it continues to help you to carve, you know, your own narrative. May Allah make it easy.
I want to say thank you to lecturers and speakers, Honorable Commissioner. Thank you so much for coming. Dr. ADYAN, it's nice meeting you finally after hearing a lot about you. And ALHAJI, we say very big thank you. We wish you success in the upcoming events, inshallah. And we hope next time when we call you, you oblige us. So inshallah, we'll be moving on to the next section, which is the breakaway session.